Друзі, привіт! My name is Polina and I'm here with Razom for Ukraine, welcoming a very dear friend of Razom Cinema, a Ukrainian producer, Olga Bregman. Welcome again.
Thank you. I'm always happy to be here.
And we'll start with, obviously, congratulations. Most recent film, Timestamp, just had its North American premiere. New films, new directors. MoMA, Lincoln Center. How was that? How did it go?
It was great. We have been able, with your support, to bring Ukrainian film crew. Unfortunately, Katerina, director, cannot be with us, but for the good reason.
Yes.
She's in Kyiv with her newborn baby. And the protagonist and the film crew, DOP, have been able to come to the premiere and speak with the audience. And we received really good review. People have been touched by the film, and I think it's important to start our American film tournée.
Well, journeys.
Journeys with this great festival. It's already several times. We have films here, and I personally like this festival so much. So we are happy and going to our next screenings.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about going back to how this idea found you. How did you find Katerina? How was your collaboration with her through this, this very, this film is such a unique, offers such a unique perspective into this intimate sort of slices of lives of various Ukrainian youth, different ages, different regions. It's sort of like paints this map of Ukraine where you're just like zooming into pieces here and there to see how the Ukrainian educational system is working or trying to function during wartime. So talk about your collaboration with Katerina, the mission, sort of what is the message that you and the team wants to put out for audience abroad.
Yeah, the story of creating of this film is quite unique. My really good friend, educator and creator of NGO Svitoria, Zoya Litvin, come to me and they have their strategic session and decided that it's important to create a film about teachers and schools in Ukraine. And usually she and we have rules not to work with friends, but she told oh, what do you think? Can we do this kind of collaboration? And from our side, we will give you first money for develop the project. And it was 2023. It was spring. And I took, okay, give me time I need to think about. And I remember that we spoke with Katerina because we did the previous film, Stop Zemlya, fiction film about schools together. And I come to her and tell what do you think if we will get back to the schools? And likely that period, Katerina was available and didn't have any other project, and she thought, okay, let's start, let's try. And the idea was to research different topics in the different schools around the country. And at the beginning we didn't know if you want to film everywhere or just concentrate in some stories. So we did huge research. We connect Katerina with teachers in different part of Ukraine. She did tens of online interviews with them just to understand about the life of the school. And we noticed that it's very different depending of how far school is from the front line, what kind of education they have. Is it online education? Is it offline? Is it combination? So, and each moment we notice, it's so big. It's the topic that we at the beginning thought that we could concentrate on some story. It's huge. That's why the idea to create this kind of variety of stories.
It's like a collage. It's such a tapestry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I believe Katerina will tell more about this creative idea. And then we realized that story is so big that we need more funds, more partners. And we create this project in co-production, and Netherlands come on board the first, then France, then Luxembourg. We also pitched the project in Copenhagen and received many awards and funds for the production. So it was quite a journey.
Yeah.
And But why we understood that this film it's have to be done, because the topic of education of school is quite unique and quite universal for people around the world. So for each parents, that like when your children go to school, it's very understandable what is this, but they cannot imagine what does it mean when your children go to school in a war country, and especially depends in which part you live. And so what in our film we try to combine these different experiences of students and teachers in different part of Ukraine, and the story gives you this full feel experience of what does it mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's also important because in a way we're showing it, it's a type of a way to show resilience, because in fact because these schools are operating under whatever circumstances there, whether bunker, half bombed, reconstructed, reopening, like we're still sort of investing into our future to make sure that our kids have the opportunity to, keep growing, keep educating, keep developing, and having these sorts of social life as well, which is also very important for children. Well, Timestamp also just had its world premiere at Berlinale, and it is the first Ukrainian film since 1997 to be part of the official in competition category, which is massive. So, what does that accomplishment mean to you as a producer, to your team, and also because you've just mentioned just how many different institutions that the film has gone through this journey, through the international sort of organizations who have seen it, like how do you see sort of these festivals, institutions reacting to Ukrainian stories today?
So I will correct you. So it's the first film by Ukrainian director.
By Ukrainian director.
Because it have been other films that have been done in co-production with
Yes.
Ukraine. But the first film by Ukrainian director, the last one, it was Kira Muratova. So it's really 20 years ago. The last film by Ukrainian director is the main competition. And for us, it was such a moment to when Berlinale connect us and tell us, guys, it will be the main competition. And also for Katerina, I think it's a great achievement.
Yeah.
So we believe that the film open many new doors for her career and next films, and the same for all Ukrainian film industry, because it's already create this kind of level of the film industry, create the sustainability, create the feeling that we are developing film, we are creating something new, so we achieve new goals, and we have been very happy. And I think it's one of the coolest experience of film festival our crew have in life. So especially because Katerina gave a birth to her baby there. So
there's many
we
things
not
you were
only deliver
celebrating.
the film, we also deliver new Ukrainians to Ukraine during the Berlinale. It was the first Berlinale baby ever in 75 years of the festival history.
I mean, Ukrainians know how to make an appearance.
So it was a big event. It was a great premiere, and I think it's a big step for all Ukrainian film industry.
Mm-hmm. And also you've produced, and we've partnered on the various films about life in Ukraine post Russia's full-scale invasion, whether it's through an artist perspective, whether it's the intercepted phone calls of Russian soldiers as they're invading Ukraine, now the children. So you've kind of have helped portray or open up sort of what does war really look like from all kinds of angles. And again, those movies were in various festivals at various times, but so that's why I was wondering what are you noticing that the film programmers or curators of different art institutions, how are they reacting to Ukrainian stories today? Has that changed over the past these 3 years?
So speaking about Timestamp, one of the greatest reviews that we received, that a lot of people tell us that this kind of story they never seen before. So it have been a lot of films that describe war from different perspective. And yeah, it's like through the eyes of artists, through the eyes of all the volunteers, or even through the voices of Russian soldiers and their families. But Timestamp describes the life of civilians people, and we don't see the war. We see how war reflected the life of children and teachers in school. And this film with a lot of hope, with a lot of light, and describe the life. So, but yeah, what's happened in these 3 years with all these different projects? So, what we tried to achieve, we tried to show these different perspectives, and I believe it's also how Ukrainian creators develop their stories. So, like at the beginning of full-scale invasion, we describe more this first reaction, transition period, through the peace, before peaceful life to the war, and then different kind of reflection. And Timestamp already describe how even children, they have adapted to the war. They're like, it's already like part of their life, and many of them, they even didn't see peaceful life because war going 10 years, and some of these students have been born and study only during the war time, so
Yeah.
they don't know anymore how it was before. And this film, it's like showing this kind of experience, and also in like describing the different projects that we are working on. So we also try like to feel this tendencies, what's going on, like how to each time bring to the world the stories that show new realities. So, and now this realities that people in Ukraine, they already know how to live at war, how to try to make their life like easier, or like how to adapt to this. And this kind of experience we now describing and showing in our films.
Well, speaking of sort of transitioning into the power of cinema and how it can create conversations, maybe a biased opinion as a filmmaker myself, but we're partnering with this time with Timestamp on an impact campaign to again talk about the importance of supporting Ukrainian children right now and their futures. So in Razom we have a campaign that's going on called Release the Kids, which is about releasing the abducted Ukrainian children. We also partner with and support various organizations and individuals who are working in support of the children as well, whether it's mental health, their schools, and all their other ways. So I guess this is more of a reflective moment where, like, do you think that cinema has that power to raise these kind of awarenesses, to create these conversations that hopefully will have that lasting impact?
Yeah, nowadays all our films have impact campaigns, because we believe that like film, they open the door for start the conversation, and after the screening, a lot of viewers and people, they have this feeling how we could help or what we could do, because they are more emotionally connected to the stories, to the protagonist. And for example, for Timestamp, we will have opportunity for people to support rebuilding of Ukrainian schools, and help to build shelters, and in winter time to help them to have power stations. So it's different programs that we are trying to develop in this impact campaign. And yeah, like looking how different project works. So like when you can show the film, you don't need like just to describe what's going on. Like after this, like people, they more understand, like they could feel like it's what I told before, this unique experience of Ukrainian people who live in a war, and it's much easier to connect through the films. So yeah, I think it's a tool for politicians, for advocacy campaigns, for people who work in different domains trying to explain what's going on, and like we as a creators try to help them to creating the tool for them to connect more people.
Right. Well, I want to take us to more of your background and your experiences. You're talking about the audience reaction. So maybe I don't know if you've noticed, for example, what maybe there's a difference between how the American audiences are reacting to Ukrainian stories versus how European audiences is reacting. And maybe right now, is there, have you noticed like any particular type of stories that draws like a closer connection where, for example, it wasn't the same like 3 years ago when we just started facing the full-scale invasion. Now, with some time has passed, so maybe distance has been created, and we're in this moment where like consistently reminding people that we're still here, we're still fighting.
Yeah, I believe we all feel this war fatigue, how European call it, that like people are already tired like to watch content about war, and like we understand this. And what we are trying to do when we are creating the film, to find a way to make them more achievable for audience, in case that like viewers, they don't need only to suffer watching what's going on. They like, here we are trying to find a way to connect with them, to find some kind of like bridges where the story could take their attention, to tell them
Feel
something,
relatable.
feel relatable. Yes. So, and it's not easy, like from some moral point of view. I mean, like we are trying to find a way how to make film more interesting for a larger audience. It's and it's difficult because like you want to tell about all pain, all tragedies that happen, but like it's not how it works now.
Yeah.
Like I remember that like first films that we did, like they have been very rough, very emotionally strong, but we showed a lot of content, like quite strong, and it works 3 years ago. Now, even when we show some teasers or trailers, you could see reaction, and people not ready to go to watching. And like it's a reality, and we need to find a way to tell the story in a way, also understanding the reaction from the audience. If to compare European and American audiences, so in US, like film have to be more like not more but better explained. So like
Need more context.
more context. It's not easy connect with the audience if they don't understand what's going on, where we are. European audience, they are more flexible in this point. So but yeah, like it's also experience, and I believe in the future we probably will have different films and different case study, how we achieve audience goals.
Yeah, how do we get to their hearts? Well, now I want to kind of go back to your experience, and you have such a vast experience with bringing these projects to life. You are co-founder of the Two Brave Productions, and you've made of like narrative films and documentary films were more like locally financed to now, grown out to the international co-productions. And how has that journey been like? What are some, maybe challenges, maybe some personal things that you've learned for yourself as well, and then I want to talk about like why is it important to have these corporations.
Yeah, the Brave Production have been created in spring 2022, when me and my partner Natalia Libet, we decided that like we don't have nothing to worry about. Like we have war, it's the scariest what could happen in our life, so we could create our own company and start this journey around creating our project. And already for these 3 years of existing our own company, we have many of projects that we did. And it's depend how, like at the beginning we finance them more with some funds and grants. So now it's more co-productions, how we are doing the films. And sometimes it's even when Ukraine not is a majority producer, so we could be a leading producer in our project, but main part of financing come from the other countries. It's challenging, but like as all things that it have like good and bad sides. So when you have more partners, so you have more hands and people who help you to to work with the project, to promote them. So for example, in timestamp, like we have like huge crew, and for our Berlin premiere it's around like 100 people who work as a back offices, as a promotional team, as a co-producer partners. So, and it helped a lot.
Yeah, it takes a village.
So nowadays, like we believe that Ukraine will find a way how to help to finance Ukrainian project, because quite often we need first development grants to start them, and after this more partners could come on board. It's much more complicated because you need to coordinate project between several countries. So it means you need more people, you need more communication, and so it's make problem or project more problematic and complicated. But you have all these opportunities that your co-producers could bring on board. Like my personal experience, I believe that like you have to involve as many partners as possible. It helps you to have all these people who also like involved and interesting to develop the film. But sometimes to make a project in a small crew much more easier and faster. So it's depend, and each time it's like you cannot like take the scheme how you did one project and bring it to the other one. So each time you're creating a factory. So it's like, okay, it will go like this. Here is we are producing. Here we are like promoting. So, but yeah, it's a journey. I believe, like in even on our experience in our example, we did projects that could be case study for our colleagues, like to tell like that you could involve financing in the earlier stage, in later stage. Like we have co-productions with 4 countries, with 2 countries. Like it's each time different experience.
I mean, you know, talking about partnerships, international audiences, connecting to those international audiences, we at Razom Cinema obviously think it's incredibly important to have Ukrainian talents, the directors, the producers, to be present at these screenings, to be able to connect sort of on this very personal level with the audiences, and also again provide the context that, you know, sometimes it's a little scary to leave the movie be with the viewer, and then you're like, I hope you got what I was talking about. And like we've obviously done a lot of partnerships together, and your team tends to be always like it's the whole band, which is amazing because you don't get to hear from even like cinematographers or like your sound engineers. Like all these people are bringing their own little pieces to the project that makes this whole collaborative process so beautiful. But I mean, from your standpoint and your experience now through these type of partnerships with us, like what has it been like? Is it what are some stuff that your team, you know, whether it's timestamp or the other ones that were able to accomplish as you were with your time here?
Like I really believe that the best collaborations it's when you could connect people. It's like from heart to heart. And when we are talking about filmmakers, like it's of course obviously directors, they travel a lot for festivals and they are the best persons to speak about their films. But the process of creating film is very hard, and like each member of crew gives their big efforts, their everything to make this film happen. And if you have opportunity to bring larger crew, I think it's very important, because we are connecting people not only to the audience but also during the festivals. It's like film industry. We could help filmmakers from Ukraine to receive more project abroad, to be connected to filmmakers from around the world. And I think after this, like projects that will their next project will be better and better, in case that they will understand more the taste of international audience. They could speak with viewers to see, to hear their reactions. And thanks Razom that like I believe you only one from not many organizations who understand how important to bring crew, like how to connect them to their audiences, especially here in US. And for I talked to our filmmakers that for many of them, like opportunity to come to American premiere have been their first opportunity to leave Ukraine and first opportunity to be in US. And so I feel really good about this, that like we not only help like film to be showed everywhere, we also help people to see the world in this way as a gratitude for them to create the film.
Absolutely. And again, creating these connections and making sure that they have abilities to mingle with their own fellow colleagues and then create more beautiful stories that hopefully will make our world a happier place a little bit. Sort of on the wrap-up question, I mean, I know we've spoken about sort of challenges in the Ukrainian film industry, but I mean, if there's anything in particular that you think like that is of like a burning case as it currently stands, but also I want to, create an opportunity to talk about wishes and aspirations of where you're seeing or hoping the Ukrainian film industry will go and move and shape into. Now that, our stories are being on festivals like Berlinale, the Sundances and everything, we're at this prestigious, on prestigious stages, we're getting the awards, we're getting Oscars, we're getting nominated for Oscars, so sort of where do you think, or at least hope, that we will be at?
What Ukrainian film industry achieve is this kind of like sustainability that now in each biggest international film festival, you could watch film from Ukraine. Obviously now it's more documentary which have been presented, but I believe it's, as I told before, we are opening the door for other Ukrainian filmmakers and films. But yeah, look, it's like Sundance, Berlinale. Now today I read the news that it will be Ukrainian film in Cannes. So like and for us, sometimes we feel, but like it's like obviously Ukrainian film have to be there. No, like many countries, many filmmakers from around the world, like to be in this prestigious festival, it's like a lifetime event. But for us in Ukraine, you're like, okay, like everybody very used to like Ukrainian film everywhere. And I think it's like very, very positive moment. But we need to help Ukrainian filmmakers to continue to create their films. And what I'm worried about now is that like all these films that last year and this year have been presented in International Film Festival, they all have been started in 2022, 2023, when we have more opportunity. Like it was a lot of funds and people from around the world who tried to help Ukrainian filmmakers to give them grants, money, and support. It's much more difficult now, so because this kind of programs, nobody expected that war could go
On
so long. And like we need some more sustainable and stable financing to be able to plan, because each time it's like, okay, now we could make a film, but like who knows how it will be in 1 year and 2 years. And I think it's our next step to speak firstly what we did, we show how Ukrainian films would help Ukrainian culture, Ukrainian government and country to tell the stories. And we need to receive somehow like support and partnership from Ukrainian side of this process, like as a Ukrainian Film State Agency or Ministry of Culture, to create some programs that could maintain this process and make them more stable. Because like I know what kind of films will be this year and next year, but what will be in 1 year, we need to think about future. We need to think about like projects that will be they have to be already start develop for to be in like 2026 2027.
Well, last fun question for producers: how do you pick the stories that you get behind and you support and you work there? Because producing is a long-term relationship.
Like I remember like my one of my rule how I choose a film is that like firstly I need to have personal connection to the story, and the other one, like because I'm feel myself quite confident and experienced producer, I could work with much more complicated stories that like no like I like challenging projects very good. Okay, like probably this project will never happen if I will not help them, and this kind of it was one of the point how I choose projects. But yeah, usually it's like personal connections and like stories that touch in my heart. um, I feel that like the limit of war films that I produce already quite quite big enough. Like I feel that I want to move more like I don't know, children for films, or films for children, or some easier story, because each project it's like and as a producer you have to watch this materials and film like 10 times, many
It takes a
times.
toll on you.
It's very hard. So
Yeah.
like for these 3 years, like I saw so many tragedies, so many tough materials that like I feel that like I want to do something else. But let's see how it goes, like because in documentary filmmaking it's not only film producing, it's some kind of like missions that we help to bring Ukrainian story to the world. And because in Too Brave production we have this experience, we know how to bring the story to the large audience, like to create good films that could be shown in the big festivals. Like we also feel our responsibility, so we cannot like say no to some important projects. So it's tough balance when from one side you want to do something, I don't know, like melodramas.
Yeah. Something for the heart.
From the heart, but from other side you also understand that like for some films like it's probably not many people who could produce this kind of stories. So yeah.
And even now it feels like we have some sort of responsibility to make sure that Ukrainian stories are captured, the truth is captured, and our history is also documented.
Yeah, so I hope we'll bring not only war films but some different kind of content soon, who knows.
Yeah.
Like, but of course, yeah, like films that we are producing, they are very, very important. So, and thank you that you are each time supporting us, especially for American premieres. Like, I believe that here we need to screen them as much as possible. It's like key audience that could help Ukraine to be supported in this war.
Yeah, well, follow our journey with this impact campaign. Get to know Too Brave Productions through the social media, Instagram, Facebook, website, all of the above. Keep an eye out for timestamp on our future screenings. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you for a nice, lovely conversation.
Easy.